How? So, basically, people have asked me about that. Back up, maybe into shot, no idea. So I thought I would do a YouTube video. Monetize, become rich, and obviously build the biggest maze in the world. Anyway, this is the hat. I wore it to Solfest 2017. There were some photos, pretty good ones during the day. Some photos at night that were terrible because of exposure. And I just thought I'd show you around. What I'll do is I'll edit in a bit a night video of it running, and then she'll cut back to how I put it together. It's not a making of video, it's a how I made it video, if that makes sense. This is my first real YouTube video, so it'll be terrible. I'll see if I can find some horrible looping music, and probably not have the things that come in and go recommended, but I'll try. Get them flashing, I don't know, subtitles for the blind, etc. So anyway, yon hat. I shall rotate. Note. Said hat. I'll go through it a bit in detail after the nighttime shot, but just want you to sort of see it. It's actually quite stable. I mean, I'm standing here like this because I've just put it on blatantly at the festival I was wondering about a bit. So it's actually, it's not that heavy. First question everybody asks, is it heavy? Surprisingly not. I built one out of cardboard a while back. That was top heavy, to say the least. This is actually really quite comfortable. No chin strap. Yeah, so there we go. Your mat. So, here we are. It's not pure night, but then you couldn't kind of see it, and maybe I'd just be invisible because that light's pretty bright. So, here's that at night. I'll do a rotate. I'll try and avoid blinding you with the torch. So there we go. Details. Details. There we go. Right, well, there you go. I'm now, because I've already done it, because it's like, time travel and stuff, I blather for about 20 minutes about making this thing. I strongly recommend stopping now. I would redo it, can't be arsed. So please don't watch to the end. Hello again! So, again, this is the section that is not a making of, it's a how I made it. Yeah. As you can see in the daylight, it's quite, you can see the lights do show up. You can kind of get a better feel of how it looks. It's kind of early evening outside, so I haven't turned the torch on because that will just kill the camera and everything, and it sets fire to the wall because it is rather brighter than I expected. So, long story short, a friend was having a wedding. They wanted me to build the hat. I said, okay. I started building it, ran out of time. It would never right. It was close, but never right. Didn't wear it. The Solfest came up. Again, was going to wear a hat, as usual. So I was like, right, well, I've got one. Let's go for it. And then I ran out of time again. So the last few days were me bashing it out. There's quite a lot of jury rigging going on, and I will replace everything. But when I show you how I sort of jury rigged it, you'll see like, it's not impressive. It really isn't. You'll hear the word pound shop a lot. So, or China. So, China. So, here we go. Let me show you around. Right. I'm hoping this is in shot. And we'll start with the front, go around the back. So, what we have here is multicoloured spectral viewing lens, the headlight, torch, a device, because steampunk devices, pressure gauge. I was going to make it do all that, nah, way beyond me. And the boiler. So let's go through it. Oh yeah, and the lamp. And I'll explain what it is. First things first, just to get insight. All this is built, and basically it's carry mat. Let me show you. Can you see that? Right, $3.99 B&M bargains. This hat took up pretty much one, I think. About that. I kind of ran over from one to another because I'd been building goggles and stuff. So I'll show you those later. Foam shaped, painted black, painted metallic-y. The black was half PVA, half black acrylic from the works or partners, wherever, and possibly even the pound shop. Metallic paint, that was just over the top. A tiny bit of PVA, and just because of waterproofing, I didn't know how it'd take. So like 1/5 to 1/5 PVA to the rest of it. 1 part PVA to 5 parts acrylic. And then I went over with gilding wax. Now rub and buff is what they use in the States, from what I've heard. You can buy it, it's quite expensive. Gilding wax, same stuff, can be cheaper. I gold for the brass, sort of gunmetal-y, and I got a copper for some bits. Okay, so this was just left black, and it looked great. I was going to just leave the whole boiler, but it kind of wouldn't have been visible, so I did the top half and then just touched it up with a bit of silver. The rivets, googly eyes. The works of Bagsies for about bags for £1. Lots of different sizes. Over the time bought like 3 bags. I've still got loads left. When you shake the hat, that's the rattling of the eyes. I'm not joking. It's quite irritating, but it's fine. People do pierce, thermal inject PVA. I quite like the fact it rattles. Eventually, obviously, I'll put a sound system in it, maybe, but I'm going to have to rewire the lot. Maybe that'll cover up the... Anyway, so, this bit here, see that? That fire, real fire, I stoke it with a little tiny, not really, it's an LED flickering tea light, buy for £1, buy a set like 6 to change colour. Got those. Surprisingly hard to find one that, off eBay, that looked right in the time I had, and I was going to order some from China, month, not a chance. At this point, it was order it, next day delivery. It arrived the day before we left. So I kind of knew it was going to work, and I got a normal tea light to size it up inside. I'll take the bits off and turn it inside out and do a proper show around. But anyway, that is plastic from the couscous, Moroccan couscous salad bowl from Sainsbury's. Cut out into panels, bent, warmed up a bit, and then just sanded to make it look a bit manky. The plate there, what's this foam stuck on? Oh, yeah, that's it. The thinner bits of foam, so for instance that, Weird shapes like hearts and lotuses and stuff from the works of the pound shop. Thinner foam, quid, obviously, cut it out. I mean, it's proper foam, it's like, I'll find some, but I did have some in some primary colours. It says DPB, Dread Parrot Bob. It'll like. Sorry, that was me over-egging it. Anyway, bolted on, stuck on. Oh yeah, it's all covered in velvet jacket. Nice blue lining, I actually quite liked it, didn't quite fit, and I just went, gone, sewed it up, hence the blue lining here. So yeah, that's just stuck on with Yoo-Hoo. I started off with Yoo-Hoo, went to Evo Stick. I am rambling, go with me. Literally stuck on, these are bits were stuck onto the velvet. Now that's great, apart from there's gaps, so I kind of really had to fill that in. That was purely put it on, make sure it fit, trim a little, make sure it fit, because I couldn't have the light coming out. Again, bolts, it's all foam. I mean, this bit, that's just a device, more of that craft foam, that's what I'm looking for. Over carry mat. Those bits were a mistake. I was going to put the headlight here, you know, as long as you go with it, it's fine. This stuff, I actually bought ages ago for a Cyberpunk headpiece. It's conduit for running through in cars for stereo systems and lighting and stuff. Wasn't that expensive. Couldn't tell you now. Comes in black, painted it black over the top, not that it makes much difference, and then basically just the gilding wax. So there's not much paint on that, acrylic paint, if any. Again, this is all foam, it's squishy. That is the top of a, God, I'm not joking, that is the top of a Cornetto, you know, knockoff from the shop, quid. Pretty much bought it for the top. It's a nice Cornetto. That dome is, last year for Christmas they were doing half and half Christmas baubles. They're a bit squishy. You can sort of see the angle, it's running like that. So you can put your own things in. They come in two halves. I got 3 for a quid, as in they come in sort of 6 halves if you like. In a packet, quid, bought them. Brilliant, bang on. They're doing perfect spheres at the moment. So there you go. Don't buy them all, I want some. Foam again. Now the light in here is a weird LED crystal thing. It's got a base like that and a crystal on top. It was like 2-3 quid. I bought it because maybe I'll be able to use it. It's cheap and tacky when it's in the box in the shop. In there it kind of works. I mean, it's just, you know, psychedelic. The dial is a work of wonder, right? That is a clock mechanism from China, bought it ages ago, had a plan to make a weird steampunk clock. It ran out pretty fast, it made some terrible noises, it was going tick, 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 tick. New battery in it, works fine. Took it out, cut that bit of black out of a very fine piece of foam, hand-drawn background, and you can tell if you get up close. The blue wiggle is actually one of the hands that came with the clock. The red light is a keyring that I got from one of the toy shops. Lightsaber base, kind of recognisable, and I just literally forced the blade of the lightsaber off. Do lightsabers have a blade? They don't, do they? But they do. Just snapped it off like last minute. I think it was possibly the evening before we left. And we were leaving at like 4 in the morning, so get me wrong, I was like time limit. Cut a hole in the back, stuck it in, promptly knocked everything out of alignment. Spent another hour fixing that. More conduit, more bits again, foam. These are rings of foam stuck. I started off with Yoo-Hoo, let's say it's fine. Again, pound shop, Evo Stick, $3.99, contact cement, changed the game, barge cement in America. I'm still looking into that because I've now got like 1/3 of a tub of Evo Stick that is like plasticine, not even though that's not really, it's like putty, silly putty, because I just left the lid off all the time when I was working. This gas light, lit by gas, vented by pigs, by the guy who runs Barter Time. This is another LED tea light, lid comes off, pop it out, turn it off. Wire that I did find somewhere, I mean literally skip or something, and then made this, again, these panels, lightly sanded around the edge, just covered in glue so they kind of look a bit weathered. So that's just me, I'm rubbish, I get glue everywhere. You know, but hey. And that's all foam. That top bit is a thing I made out of clay ages ago for a different project, didn't know what to do with it. I needed a pointy thing to go on the top. This is absolutely true. I was standing in this room when I was freaking out going, well, I'm gonna have to make a pointy thing, I'm running out of time, and it was just on the table. And I went that, stuck it on, boom, painted it black, job done. Tiny, tiny little googly eyes. Jess, if you're watching, till roll. Just saved me till rolls, that's what we used as. This thing up here, right now, the smoke, that's what I should have mentioned now. People have been talking about building smoke machines and stuff like that. We're still in, chatting to a friend, but way beyond my capabilities. People put e-cigs and I looked into pricing and some of them are very expensive indeed. Weren't going to fit in this chimney. It's a tiny jam pot. You get them free when you like buy toast in the morning at a cafe or a pub or something. It's one of those. I work at a pub. Stuck in, covered, and I put incense sticks. Now I bought some suitably, cleverly flavoured incense sticks, got them shipped. Again, next day delivery, arrived the morning before, bought them, took them to Solfest, lit it, rubbish, couldn't even tell it was lit, nothing. But I remember from years ago that there were these horrible incense sticks, black packet, you've probably seen incense cones, used to bomb the house, hate them. Have they got any? Ran down to, believe it or not, there was a person selling incense at a festival. There were tie-dye tops and things from India. Really? Have you got? Yes, you have. Lit it. Threw two in like an idiot. It nearly killed people. It's plumes of smoke. Happened to wake a friend up because he was downwind. He was like, what the hell is that? So don't put two in, use one. It does plume smoke. You saw it before, and I'll light it again for later, but I didn't use it now because it actually would have made me like wheeze and my eyes burn. I hate the stuff, but it works great outside in a very large field, as long as you don't mind people standing away from you all the time. That's it, basically. Yeah, let me pull this lid on. There you go. Right. The torch that is incredibly bright. I've just kicked it. Torch is incredibly bright. China, £3. 5,000 lumens. It's not going to be 5,000 lumens, blatantly, for £3. Don't know what it is. As you witness, it's pretty strong. But again, that's as like kill the camera now. I mean, it's proper bright, and not only that, but you can focus it in and out. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, very bright. Oh yeah, that I sanded as well. And there's, because you just got to make it gloom, sort of dispel the light, disperse the light. Yeah, here we are, as you are. Next mission is more of them. I've got a couple of plans. There we go. Thanks for watching. Click like and subscribe. I don't even know if I'm going to do this again. It's quite nerve-wracking. There we go. Thank you for your time. Roll credits. Still about. Right, next project. So, stuff I am building. Steampunk Manitou. Anybody's read China Meeville, you know where that's coming from. Pawns are wrong, should be pointing forward. Lay doctor mask. The doctor will see you now. Exterminate the doctor. No, that was a bit weird. Right. There we go. Stuff. Can you do orcs or trolls with tusks and still have it as a mask? I was me messing about again. You can see the Christmas baubles. This is my favourite. This is what I did when I was drawing years ago when I was messing about with Steampunk pirates. A big shout out to the New Babbage crew, Second Life. This is a project I worked on there. Never made it work quite right. Built like 4. These can extend it. Virtual world. But the idea being that pirate patch, but with a telescope. Not strapped with it yet. Well, that's it. That's kind of. Just thought I'd show you some of the projects. If I really hated you, I'd turn you around and show this room, because then you'd have the same kind of panic attack I'm having. Right. Thank you for your time. Glad you watched to the end. Don't tell your friends.